All right, we're live.
All right.
I think. Yep.
All right. And we're back in the B block with the Media Virus podcast. And in this B block, we're going to talk to Jesse Janafra, the owner of Botana Organics. Matt?
So yeah, like I had mentioned in the A block that I met this gentleman Jesse in his shop, Botana Organics, which is right off of on the corner of Silverside Road and 202, kind of like in like a you have to go in the parking lot. I'm sure Jesse, just Google it. But it prompts me to ask Jesse, how did you get involved in this this how did this come about? Like, where was this a brainchild that you had, like, as
yeah, it's kind of a long story because I guess it all started on this trip I was in Costa Rica, and I took a permaculture class, and it was like a 2-week awesome, like, immersive experience, just camping out in like Costa Rica on this amazing just sort of natural way of designing agriculture to be more like mirroring nature. And so it's the fusion of two words, permanent and agriculture. Just a way to like kind of think about it is a forest. Nobody really plants a forest, but it's like a self-sustaining form of agriculture, and you could even uh, harvest food and stuff out of this system. And so I was learning all about that, and I met this really cool guy who was an artist in New York City. And I think the year was like 2013, and we just stayed in touch after that trip. And then as soon as hemp was legalized in Colorado in 2014, my buddy who I met there, he just like dropped all his art stuff and moved out to Colorado, just like on this mission to start an amazing hemp permaculture like paradise. So I was like, this is so cool. I just kind of moved out there immediately with him to sort of help him get it started and grow the thing. And he just taught me a lot about. I knew about like cannabis, obviously, but I didn't quite know about like the CBD and all that stuff because, well, even back then it was really just kind of generally unknown. So my buddy, his name's Yanni, by the way, and he owns an awesome CBD company called Botana. And then my brainchild was off of him. I wanted to be like his distributor. So anyways, I was working with him for a few years out there, and then long story short, I come home back to Delaware on like a holiday break, and I see that a gas station by my house had a big sign that said "We sell CBD," and I was just like, wait, like here I am, like in this like pristine environment, like doing all this work to make these hemp plants like grow in the most natural and beneficial way, learning all about their sort of peculiarities and how they can even absorb like toxins from the soil and things. And now I come back home and the gas station is selling all the CBD in the local area. So immediately like the light bulb just went off, and I was like, I need to start distributing like this real medicine. Now that people know about CBD, they need to know about like there's different qualities of it. And that's sort of how it came about.
Yeah, that is because I know that the store has a like a wealth of different there's so many different, and it's specified for each uh ailment or what you're looking to get out of it. And I go there, like, instead of going to the proverbial like gas station, because I think I trust you to lead me in the right, like, I know you're not just buying like some dude walked into a gas station and said, hey, sell this CBD, it's like pot, the kids will buy it, basically.
Yeah.
Is how it was touted at first.
Mm-hmm.
The kids will buy it, and then those patients who want to use medical marijuana uh
Gravitate towards that.
are going to gravitate to it. But buying it from the same place that you get your smokes and your Diet Coke is not, you shouldn't be consuming any of that shit anyway, obviously.
One of the problems I think was that like it sort of exploded and became like popular too fast. So in maybe 2016, nobody knew about CBD. Then fast forward to 2019, like I've heard about CBD. But so the market is expanding so quickly, but the sort of the guidelines and all of the testing and things like that aren't necessarily in place. And I did hear some independent people were testing like CBD and hemp. And my buddy who owned the farm was actually telling me this before I even went home. And then I saw the gas station, but he was saying like up to 70 to 80% of the CBD that is commonly sold, if you test it, it doesn't actually have as much CBD as they advertise. And some products have zero CBD whatsoever, because CBD is more of like a subtle thing. It doesn't get you high like THC right away. You can kind of trick people a little bit easier with it.
Yeah, I remember. Now, the first time I had heard about CBD was I was hanging out at a vape shop. I had smoked. I was trying to quit smoking. I was at this vape shop, and everybody in my kind of circle, we all smoked cannabis. Like, it was just a known thing. And basically, I used to meet people by walking in places smelling like pot. And then if they noticed, they go, "What's that smell?" And I would go, "It's me." And if they wanted to talk to me, they would talk to me. And if they didn't, they went away. So that's how I would meet people. But that's, we're talking about the CBD, and it was in the vape. And I remember, like, trying it, and I did feel like you didn't feel like that. Both my son and I described that pressure that's right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That when you smoke, that goes away. Like when you use, that pressure that's right there, it goes away. And that's what I noticed, but there was no other cloud. Like, I wasn't happy, I wasn't laughing, but that pressure went away. And that's when I was like, okay, this is something. And then when I as you explore, because you get into the CBD creams, are in supermarkets, they're in gas stations, there's multi-level marketing companies based on it, but you don't know what you're getting. And when you do find the product that works, you'll swear by it. Like, I come in, I see you every week because I swear by the product that I buy. I tell people about it. I tell people where to get it, when I'm out and about, which is, why you're here. Because I think the products that I feel like you're steering me and all of your customers in the right direction.
Yep. Thanks, man. And I think that's the key. Like, that was my goal all along, just to like actually provide the real value instead of just becoming one of those fake companies. Like, I just want to help people feel better, and it's a simple goal, but I think a lot of times simplicity gets you far.
It also really does.
I think you really hit it right on the head, like with that pressure thing, because that's how I describe it a lot. Like, I'd say CBD is not something you're gonna just feel like change your life entirely, but it might just like be a little bit of a pressure off your shoulders, or a little bit easier to take a deep breath and kind of relax. And I mean, if you think about it, that could change your life, because that could be hard to come by sometimes.
Well, I need some fucking CBD because it's been a hell of a weekend. I've been going through it.
It helps you sleep too. So.
Oh yeah, I slept like shit last night.
Well, what about, I tell you what, I know you live in Rhode Island, so it's going to be a hike, but it's right on Silverside Road. Drive to a shop.
When I moved to Delaware, I lived right off of Silverside Road by 202. Wow. I was close to there. That's funny.
You know that liquor, that liquor store that's in right on the corner of 202?
I don't know.
No,
maybe.
It's just weird. I've never been in that. It's like, it's a strange where he's located.
You gotta walk up the stairs.
Little shop.
202 Liquors.
I lived in I was an apartment complex off of Silverside Road. Can't remember the name of it.
Okay, yeah, it's a little further down 202.
What'd she say?
I think it's a little further down from 202, like a few miles. But yeah, same road.
So you can go visit your old house and pick up some CBD. Now, in 2018, in 2018, Congress passed a farm bill that kind of opened up a lot of hemp research, and we've seen a lot of benefits from that. Can you elaborate on what that bill has actually brought forth?
No doubt. Well, that was the bill, like you said, that kind of legalized CBD, and it classified like marijuana and hemp as two distinct categories. Before, there was no really guidelines or regulation, but then they passed that bill, and anything any cannabis plant that has less than 0.3% THC per weight is classified as hemp. And that's a pretty common misconception. A lot of people think like hemp is something that you can't smoke, or it's just hemp was the plants that they grow for fiber. And that's true, but that was true kind of. But nowadays, hemp and cannabis is only like separated by the THC levels. And yeah, since then, obviously, like you said, they've been able to do a lot more studies. And definitely, I mean, CBD benefits is like one of the most Googled things of the last couple of years. So there's a ton of studies. I can't like think of any off the top of my head, but I know it's really been beneficial for even things like Alzheimer's, and a lot of everything from basically psoriasis to an acute injury like a sprain or something like that. You can definitely benefit from CBD. And a simple way I like to put it is it's like one of the most powerful antioxidants that we've ever studied. Like we all know the benefits of antioxidants, from anything from aging to increasing your vitality. So CBD actually does work in part as an antioxidant, and it's one of the most powerful ones ever studied.
I mean, honestly, that's one of the reasons why the fight to get cannabis off of Schedule 1 is to open up research so that we can learn about it. And that has been the problem traditionally through the past however many years that you want to look back over, you know, the prohibition of cannabis, is that they haven't allowed study to the point where we've been able to learn anything.
Big Pharma's got a lot to lose if they kind of just open the floodgates up. Obviously, you know, like cannabis is just a plant that anyone can grow, and you don't need a prescription for it. It's kind of, it's sort of a cure-all, which that's the worst thing for any business.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So you know how like weed and everything's pretty much become legal for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So with shrooms, you know how people microdose?
Mm-hmm.
If that became legal in Delaware, would you start doing like microdosings too? Or is that like a whole other thing?
Obviously, if it became legal, I would look into it. I mean, I definitely am a firm believer in the power of all these different natural compounds that can kind of boost our lives.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've heard a lot of athletes that, so that interests me. What was that again?
I've heard a lot of athletes are into like microdosing for you know, whatever it is, improving their reaction speed and things like that.
Psilocybin's another compound that's very interesting to look at, because again, not a lot of research has been allowed, but they're finding all kinds of interesting stuff about it. And the microdosing, you can there's all kinds of stuff that they've been able to do with that, as far as there's some serious psychological stuff that they've been able to overcome with it and make some real progress with. So it's an interesting, it's another interesting option out there that, you know, I think bears the need for more research.
Yeah, I'm all for shrooms and using them for a lot of different reasons. They've helped me with a lot of shit.
But a lot of people make the mistake that you know, that somehow weed is kind of legal everywhere, and it's not. And you've got to remember,
different regulations.
There's different regulations, but depending on where you are, I mean, if you're in the city of Philadelphia and you have less than an ounce, you might get a ticket.
In Mass, where I'm from, it's recreational.
And so I've walked in the stores and purchased it in Mass. Now in Jersey, you can walk into a store and just purchase it, and you know, but you don't leave the fucking state with it. And don't especially get caught on the bridge. That's the worst place, because that's a federal organization, the Bridge Authority. You're screwed out of everything. That's state lines. That's a big problem.
A lot of loopholes they'll get you with.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's the thing. There's and I think that's why they plan it this way. It's legal in some states. It's not legal in others. They know if you're going, and it's like, don't ever go right from the fucking, that's what they used to do with fireworks. Because in Pennsylvania, it used to be against the law, but you could sell fireworks in Pennsylvania, but you couldn't purchase fireworks in Pennsylvania with a Pennsylvania driver's license.
What?
This was up until like last year. I swear to God.
Stupid.
They had fireworks stores in Pennsylvania, but you could only buy these fireworks if you were from New Jersey or Delaware. Or from wherever.
But
and
in
just
Delaware,
fucking sell them in Jersey and Delaware. I mean, whatever. That's dumb.
In Delaware, fireworks were illegal.
Right.
Entirely.
In New Jersey, they're illegal as well.
Stupid.
And that's the thing, is what they would do is the cops would track you. If you had a big purchase, the cops would track you. They would call the Port Authority. Then the Port Authority would nail you on the bridge.
That's crazy.
Everybody I ever knew with fireworks got nailed on the bridge because you don't leave from the fireworks store and then go right to the bridge. It's stupid. You don't go right from the weed store and go right to the bridge. It's stupid.
Avoid the bridge.
Right? Stay in the state. But that was another thing too. You couldn't set them off in Pennsylvania. It was illegal to set off fireworks in Pennsylvania. It was only legal to sell. It was the dumbest rules I swear to God, every 4th of July, I would stare at people like this. But I was never big into fireworks. But this 4th of July, I had the opportunity, dude. It was the best 4th of July ever. A cardboard pipe bomb constructed by a meth head with as much powder as a stick of dynamite. I don't know if he disassembled a stick of dynamite to make this sloppy piece of shit contraption, or if he opened up four quarter sticks. But the creator this fucking thing made was, and the boom, and I got to watch 2 drunk brothers set it off, right? With a barbecue lighter in somebody else's back. They went into somebody else's backyard.
That's always the best way.
The best part was they started wandering over to the backyard with this. Oh, Doc, just so you know, I'm explaining my 4th of July by setting off we set off a cardboard pipe bomb made by a meth head. And so what I decided to do was go around the front of these houses. So that way, when the bomb goes off, right,
leave.
But I'll be on their Ring cameras. Like the bomb will go off. They're going to, it can't be me. Near it. I'm nowhere near it. I didn't have enough time to set that off. So, and it was a festive celebration. Festive celebration. I can honestly say that I was in fact celebrating. That's what I was doing. So and honestly, what sparked, like when I went into, go into Botano Organics and get, what my weekly dose of what I need. And I was kind of rapping with him. And this was kind of funny. He goes, "Hey, is it still hot as hell outside?" And I was like, "Didn't you just get back from Africa? Like Delaware hot shouldn't be like a thing you're complaining about."
The summers are hotter and the winters are colder here. And over there, it's kind of always steady.
You said it's always like a 60, 65, 70 degrees there.
Yeah, it might get to like 80 or 90 during the day, but at night it always comes down to like 60.
Where were you at?
Ethiopia in Addis Ababa. It's like the capital. It's like a mile high, so it's near the equator, but it's a mile high elevation, so it's like some sort of paradise zone.
You travel a lot, huh?
I think I highlighted like my 2 basic travels, Costa Rica and Ethiopia. That's where I've been to. And I've been to Mexico. So.
Dude, I've been to the Poconos. And I went to the Jamaica one time.
Yeah,
but that was a resort. Like I didn't go to Jamaica and experience like Jamaica. I went to Jamaica and experienced what Hilton wants me to experience.
Yeah, I've always tried to kind of go off the beaten path. Like when I was in Costa Rica, I just lived on the beach, like only in a tent for like at least a month with.
That's how I like to travel.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And then you come back to America and like everything kind of just seems new for the first time. Again, you're like in the grocery store, like, whoa, there's 1,000 different options here for cornflakes.
So, and there really is, dude. How many different styles of fucking cornflakes do you flakes?
Yeah.
How many cereals do you need? I guess when you go to Ethiopia, I guess there's different, maybe it's several different flavors, but not
Yeah, nothing like we got.
And they probably have actual food instead of the shit they sell,
real
right?
food instead of fucking chemically and endorsed whatever bullshit.
It's actually scary. I know a little bit too much, but like Ethiopia right now, they're starting to use a lot of GMOs and stuff over there. So
really,
people over there, they don't know what it is yet, and like you know, the big companies and everything are kind of just pushing it. But a lot of it is organic because a lot of people live how they've always lived. Really good food there.
What was it like being there during like what we considered to be like a pandemic? Was it like being here where everybody was like masked up, or were you like?
Everyone was masked up for a little while in specific places, and like I said, I was kind of in the city, but in Ethiopia, there's like the population density is so high that even if everyone's masked up, it still is not making any sense, because you might be in a car with like 20 other people in a bus and everyone's crowded in, breathe like the masks are only going to do so much. But I think they did start to wear them a little bit, but last time I went out there, like no one's wearing the masks anymore.
It just kind of went away.
Everyone's kind of just dealing with it. Like they might wear the mask, but they might just have their nose out.
Yeah, right. Like the chin diaper and stuff.
Yeah.
What was like then? Did you have a TV? And like I'm not trying to be an asshole. I really want to know, like, was it like?
Well, I didn't have a TV. I'm not a big TV guy, but I was at one of our friends' house and they had a little TV, and they have an Ethiopian TV and stuff. The only thing that was really surprising to me is, you know, like how we have different like political, like CNN or Fox or whatever. They would have different like ethnicity, like different ethnicities, because Ethiopia is like really sort of a very complex situation, like politically and ethnically, and every sort of different ethnicity or different tribe has like their own TV station. So that was kind of an interesting thing I saw over there.
That was kind of where I wanted to, like, not race specifically, but how, you know, news of the world is like presented in that area. And it's hard, I guess, when you break up into these little factions, you know, everyone has their, you know, esoteric point of view from their like, as if everybody's tribed up. It doesn't matter color, it's tribes, right? It's yeah. So
I can't tell the difference between many of them, because they all kind of look very similar, and most of them are pretty mixed, I think. But
yeah, but it's all about where you declare as opposed to you know what.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, the leaders, I guess, or the media kind of placates that by just giving each group their own delivery system of media, however you want to.
I think it can be good and bad. It's like a double-edged sword.
Is it different? Are their languages dramatically different, or do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So it would be odd for one tribesman to watch a different.
They have like an official language, so most people speak Amharic, it's called, but that's like the state language. And then there's other languages like I think the largest number of Ethiopians are Oromo, and they have their own language called Oromifa, and that's like up more than 50% of Ethiopians, and that's like not, they have their own TV station and everything, but that's not what most people like learn about in school.
That's not the official language, so it's you know, I guess they have official declared language that the state puts their information out in. So you need to speak that, and then if your tribe's language is might learn something. I got you.
Business in that one language.
That's fascinating.
Yep. It's so cool how there's like 83 languages and 83 tribes, and they all like form one country. I think that's like a miracle.
It's kind of like 50 states, right?
Yeah.
It's almost, you know, the give and take and the push and the pull are a little bit different, but it's not, you know, it's kind of similar the way that probably everybody, some get along, some don't, and stuff like that.
Diversity is always good though, because I think you can always like learn from a diverse experience.
Oh, absolutely. That's, you know, that's
what I love about America too.
It is one of my favorite things that, you know, there's, I mean, just on this show, you know, where there's so many different personalities, different, backgrounds. Not so well, I don't want to say we're all.
We all have our common experiences, but we've all experienced them from our own point of view. So while we do have some of that commonality, we come together on what's different most of the time.
Sure.
Right. And that's I believe in open expression. I want to open my mind. I journey to be a student of the world, and I appreciate you coming on and talking to us about all that fun stuff. That was a good. I like to learn different things. That was good stuff.
Maddie, I need to pull your chart. You're the
many
only
different
person...
walks of life, but we all come from Ethiopia. That's what I think.
I'd say that one more time. You kind of broke up.
Oh yeah, it kind of skipped out. I was saying, yeah, it's good to have. We all have different walks of life, but I think we're all coming. So that's kind of coming from the same place.
That's true. No, I mean we all kind of do, and whether we like it or not, that's we all have the same internal workings. Coming up on the other side of this, we have want to thank Jesse Janafra. We're going to invite him back. We're going to invite him to stay and play the game with us. Hopefully he will. But that's it for the B block. On the other side of this, we're going to be doing we're going to have Adjust the Tips, and we're going to play I Wish I Didn't Know. So
that is true. That is absolutely true.
Thanks for having me, guys. And I'll be
no problem. Want to remind everybody to stop by and see Jesse at Botana Organics at 3650 Silverside Road, Wilmington, Delaware, 19810. You can also catch him online at botanaorganics.com. And like Matt said, on the other side of this, we will be coming back to bring you Adjust the Tips, and we are also going to have a wildly rousing game of I Wish I Didn't Know. So stick around, and we'll be back right after this.
How's that?
Worse.
Much worse.
And we're in break again.